The man tightly clutches a gun in his hand every night when he sleeps, because it's now the year 2035, and robots have taken over all human jobs. They have greatly liberated human labor and become as indispensable as smartphones. Robots now serve as household nannies, even taking dogs for walks. But Jack, a police officer who has worked for many years, always has a bad feeling. He firmly believes there's a problem with artificial intelligence. However, since robots were released to the public, not a single one has ever made a mistake. Before any robot is born, it is programmed with the 3 laws of robotics. The most important law is that a robot must not harm a human being. With these laws in place, it is theoretically impossible for a robot to act violently. Because of this, Jack's reputation at the police department deteriorated. People around him gradually distanced themselves, thinking he was overly paranoid. But Jack always believed that he wasn't wrong. Just one day before the launch of the 5th generation robots, a bizarre murder occurred. Dr. Tom, known as the father of robotics, was found dead at the headquarters of the robot manufacturing company. He had fallen from a research lab on one of the upper floors, since the door to the lab was locked from the inside. The case was ruled as a suicide. Next to his body was a holographic projector lying on the ground. It contained a recording of a conversation made by Dr. Tom, but no matter what questions Jack asked, the hologram could never provide key answers. Later, Jack was accompanied by a female scientist named Annie to search for evidence inside the company. The first thing Jack wanted to check was the surveillance footage. Annie confidently introduced the company's all-encompassing monitoring system. Every corner of the facility was equipped with cameras feeding data to a system called Vicky. Vicky was the pinnacle of super artificial intelligence, located in the heart of the company. With unmatched algorithms, there was nothing Vicky didn't know. But when Jack asked for footage from just before the incident, Vicky said the data had been corrupted. Even Annie was surprised and had no choice but to lead Jack to Dr. Tom's private lab. The room was filled with broken robot parts and inactive units hanging on the walls. Though it was a tech lab, the atmosphere felt eerie and unsettling. Jack approached the window from which Dr. Tom had fallen. He saw a huge hole in the glass. He then picked up a nearby chair and smashed it against the glass. Even with all his strength, the glass wouldn't break. So how could an old man have broken through it? They ruled out homicide because the killer couldn't have entered from the outside. But that didn't mean there wasn't another possibility. Jack began scanning the robotic wreckage around the room. At that moment, a robot opened its eyes and leapt out from a pile of parts. Jack immediately raised his gun. Annie tried to calm him down while picking up a gun that had fallen to the floor. But in the next second, the robot snatched the gun from Annie's hands.